Good morning, high achievers. Today, I'm going to answer a question from Edith. She is struggling with a rare condition. It is rare because only a very small percentage of people on the planet have it. But in the high achiever community, it is an epidemic. It is likely a condition, in fact, that you are suffering from as well. Let's see. Here is how Edith posed her question, or her condition, as I call it. She wrote, "I absolutely love learning, reading, and growing, but I find myself overwhelmed with information." Does that sound like you so far? She goes on to say, "I read several books at the same time, attend lots of seminars, webinars, etc., and I'm hungry to grow in my field, but I find myself scattered." Does that sound like somebody you know? And now her question. How can I streamline and still enjoy learning? How do I cope with the information and knowledge overabundance? Okay, Edith, and I'm sure most every person here on Darren Daily, this will be an important session for you. Let me give you 4 keys to approaching your learning and personal growth, something that I've spent 10% of my income on since I was 18 years old, and the primary reason why I have the life that I have now, coming from where I started. The first key is this: understand the difference between what you are studying and what you are just marinating your mind with. What is the number one goal that you have for this year? What is the number one skill most important to achieving that goal this year? That is the skill you should be studying, meaning you're taking notes, you're applying what you're learning, you're constantly reviewing and constantly iterating to become better on that skill development. Then there is what you are just listening to or watching just to marinate your mind. You don't need to take notes, you're just listening or watching to keep your mind flush with something positive and inspiring, to keep your attitude, abundance, mindset, and your behavior positive. That's a lot of what we do here on Darren Daily each morning. We're not covering what you need to be studying as we do inside Insane Productivity for personal self-mastery, or inside the High Performance Forum, the skills for business enterprise building. We're just kickstarting and calibrating your mind each morning to give you that behavior edge each day. The second key here is understanding the difference between just-in-time and just-in-case learning. Success seekers consume too much disjointed information. The just-in-case information they don't want to miss out on due to their FOMO, fear of missing out, compulsion, and thus they end up ingesting all sorts of conflicting information that does more to confuse, perplex, and overwhelm them than it does help. I believe more in just-in-time learning. I focus most all of my attention, and certainly 100% of my study time, to the skill that I need to work on now. And that changes as my goals change and my skills evolve. Now, the third key is understanding that it's probably going to take going wide to then go deep. Here's what I mean. Respected peers and friends might recommend books, and I get sent a ton of books, and I might read 20, which is what I call going wide. But then I don't just keep going wide, I decide which author or thought leader I really resonated with, and then I go deep with them, buying and consuming most everything that they've published or offer. In my experience, it is much better to find a single voice, a character that you connect with and want to grow to be more like, and invest deeply with them, than to continue to collect and only become more confused by a litany of shallow voices. And lastly, number 4, understand the need for both skill and wisdom growth. 99% of my time, energy, and growth is geared towards skill growth and the right kind of mind marination. But I have learned in my older age now the importance of learning just for wisdom's sakes. That means, and this is usually in my time off periods or on weekends or on vacations, I will listen to or read about things that have nothing to do with any skills that I will use in my business. Maybe it's something in classical literature or art or music history or in humanities, or stories about other people's lives in different times in history or in less fortunate circumstances, simply to help me become more aware and wise and probably a more compassionate human being. So there you have it, Edith, and everybody else, a more sane, organized, and radically more effective approach to your learning and personal growth. 1, learn to separate your study from your marination. 2, focus on more just-in-time rather than just-in-case learning. 3, go wide to gain enough exposure, then find one to go deep with. And 4, grow in wisdom in your fun time so that you don't end up a linear and, well, kind of boring human being. I know it took me a long while to sort all this stuff out for myself, so I hope that this helped you here this morning. Tell us in the comments below which of these 4 ideas was most eye-opening to you, and I look forward to reading what you have to say.